Hi everyone, welcome back here. Guys, I'm so grateful for your support. If you're new here, I talk about everything about fragrances and I am so excited to be sharing some more samples with you here, guys. You know we're making our way through 65 fragrances and there are already 100 more samples coming in. So please stay tuned. Let me know your thoughts and let's get to talking. What are you interested in? What do you like? What do you think about my takes? I think I am coming with a very giving you guys these fragrances as a person who is not in a rush to smell these fragrances at all. So I feel like there is a bit of candidness. I literally just got these samples for you guys and to add a little bit more value in my channel instead of just doing things that I enjoy, which is typically how I started my collection. But again, I feel like I will always say sample your things when you can and grow your collection how you want to and not because of buzz. I think it's easier said than done. I know sometimes, you know, it's a real feeling of being left out of the loop a little bit, but try and buy your samples in bulk if you want to, but don't rush. Remember, there is no rush. There will always be another bottle. There will be a time, unless it's something that you direly need, but you know, you should never feel in a rush to get a fragrance or anything in particular for retail therapy. But if it makes you happy, it makes you feel happy. There's no reason to feel guilt over that. So anyways, enough of my rant. Today we're going to be talking about fragrances that I have had in my collection. Guys, not in my collection, but on my to buy list. This is Forbidden Sugar. Guys, I have wanted this fragrance for I don't know how long. I think since last December. Not last December 24, December 23, guys, and I don't know how I've managed not to get a full bottle of this fragrance. I think it just hasn't been in stock when I was bulk buying something else. So that is essentially what happened. And then when my favorite, Fragrance Glance, did her fragrance review on that fragrance and how much she loved it and how beast mode it was, guys, you know that is my weakest point. It's the performance of a fragrance. And so I felt so out of the loop and I really, really wanted it. And then I finally got a sample, and this is one of the first fragrances I sprayed on myself and wanted to wear. Now, I don't even know where to put this fragrance to smell it, but I will place it here. Beautiful. Okay, so this does not smell anything like I imagined it to smell. I imagined it to smell like powdery sugar, like powdered, you know, that white sugar powder that you use for icing. I imagined that it smelled like that with some marshmallow and some honey and some caramel and vanilla. That is exactly how I imagined it to smell like, and then for it to be powdery. So imagine my surprise when I smell this fragrance and I realize, oh yeah, this is a white floral fragrance. I am so glad this is one of the fragrances I am so glad I did not get a full bottle of. Like, it is white floral galore, and guys, I do not like white florals like that. This is the kind of powdery, dusty, screechy white florals for me. And as you guys know, they kind of sting my nose a little bit. It does. The marshmallow, I can't even find it, guys. Maybe the marshmallow is kind of done in the same way that you would smell it in I was gonna say Love is Blind, or Love is Wicked. Oh, Love is Wicked. No, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like what you would smell in the fragrance from Rihanna's fragrance collection. Not Rihanna's fragrance collection. Love, Don't Be Shy. Love, Don't Be Shy. Exactly that. That is kind of the kind of marshmallow, you know, like when you smell that fragrance, you wouldn't say it's a marshmallow fragrance, but you kind of can feel it somewhere there. This is a white floral fragrance. Bergamot, coconut, yes. Vanilla, no. Pear, not really. Musk, yes. Musk. And orange blossom, no. I'm not even gonna lie to you. No orange blossom here. Just white florals. Maybe, I guess you could say. No, I'm not gonna lie. I don't smell any orange blossom. Like in a maybe vague way, I think I smell more bergamot than I smell the orange blossom. This is just a white floral fragrance and it doesn't have the vanilla. It doesn't. I thought this was gonna smell like forbidden sugar, like not forbidden sugar, but like just like sugar. It doesn't. So I don't know. So glad I didn't get a full bottle. Yay! Guys, celebrate the little wins. Celebrate the little wins. Okay, next fragrance. This is a fragrance I've been seeing a lot of people talk about. And to be honest, I've watched none of the reviews. When I saw the bottle, and I don't know whether I saw like some kind of review on this fragrance, because immediately I was like, okay, it smells like, it's obvious it smells like Cair pistachio, what the them lot are doing, because there is a pistachio note and the bottle is green. This has pistachio, almond, heliotrope, jasmine, vanilla, salted caramel, and sandalwood. This is a pistachio, heliotrope, no. Yeah, pistachio, heliotrope, almond, and salted caramel fragrance. Every other note is in a supporting act. This is supposed to say like it smells like 62 by, what's that body spray? Cheriosa 62 by Sol de Janeiro. And, okay, interesting. And yeah, it smells kind of like that fragrance. I totally get it. It smells like suntan lotion. Smells very nutty. Like, you know, like not a roasted nut or anything like that, but just like very nut texture. I feel like it would go in a very more nut rich, like creamy nut texture if it had tonka in it, but it doesn't. So the white florals kind of raise it up, and then you have some salted caramel, which is beautiful. It adds a balance to this fragrance that I feel like coconut would otherwise have replaced. It's not a sweet caramel. It's not like a thick caramel. It's just like a very vague salted caramel, kind of like the one you would have on microwave popcorn or something like that. Like it will get too sticky if you put too much of, you know, the thickness or whatever, but it's kind of just a flavor, you know. And that's exactly what this fragrance is. I definitely don't think I'm missing anything with this fragrance. I definitely don't feel like I was missing anything with all the reviews that were coming out, even though I feel like it's been hyped up. That and its sister fragrance, I feel like have been getting hyped up, but I haven't felt like I've missed anything, and I still don't feel like I'm missing anything. So yeah, subpar in my collection. Performance, to be honest, I haven't worn it to test for performance, but people here are saying that it's moderate and moderate sillage, and I seem to believe that. I definitely would doubt that this performs well, but I have to say that is a small little tester sample, so I definitely feel like maybe this is the type of fragrance that would perform well with a small sample, but would be insane with a sprayer. I don't know, but it definitely gives very intimate. It's not projecting off my skin as we speak, and it's just not everything. I have to say, I keep smelling that forbidden sugar, and it is beautiful. It's that and mixing forbidden sugar and herba pura, or any of the herba pura DNAs, I think that could be something. I think you could be onto something. Let me know, have you tried that before? And what you think? Would you think they go together? I can smell them here in two different places, so they are giving me a lovely mix. I feel like that's the only way I could stand that fragrance. It's not to say it's bad, it's just a white floral fragrance, and that's not what I expected and not what I wanted. I definitely wanted it to be a little bit more gourmand or something at least. Okay, next we have Oud and Vanille by Emir. This is a fragrance that I was really interested in smelling, because I just thought like, oh, is this gonna kind of smell like Shagaf Oud but in a very different way? And you know what, this smells quite close to the old formulation of Victor Empire Victor. Now this doesn't have a skanky oud at all. In fact, this has like a dry agarwood type of smell, yeah. And has cardamom, and so it's more kind of that kind of spicy and floral, but I think the basics are here. I don't see it saying that it smells like anything like maybe Amira Oud, and I see that it definitely kind of smells like Amira Oud. I think it smells like a blend between Victor Empire without the skanky oud and the strong patchouli. I feel like there's patchouli or something that gives it like a really sharp take on that vanilla or that oud, so it's not like jarring. But yeah, it's agarwood, cardamom, saffron, black pepper. You feel every single one of those notes. And then you have floral notes, which are adding depth, and they're definitely in the middle notes, which is acceptable. and you had some Madagascar vanilla, some Gaiac wood, and some sandalwood. That vanilla is unsweetened vanilla and is just acting as a support act. It's nowhere as sweet as you have in Shagaf Oud, which is something that I thought you would have. I was just really interested to see what this fragrance is like. It's said to be a take of a Mancera DNA, which is Oud and Vanille. I haven't smelled that fragrance at all, but I definitely see this smelling like Emir Oud. But you guys know how I feel about that fragrance. They're not really that close, because I feel like that's more smoky and incensey, where this is more woody and not as sugary. So yeah, that's my take there. Would you really be interested if I did Empire Victor in a full review on this? I feel like this would be a really interesting fragrance to kind of try to describe and pair back. But yeah, those are my first thoughts. Again, if I was to rate that fragrance, I think maybe I would give it a 6, just because I feel like there's other fragrances that do what it's trying to do better and that I actually love in my collection, like Majal Sultan. I've smelled Emir, I prefer that a lot more. It has a lot more personality, and Empire Victor, the old formulation, is irreplaceable in my fragrance collection. I don't even think this would come to scratch the same itch. So I'm like, interesting, but it just wouldn't call out to me in that extreme way. I feel like the way the oud and the florals and whatever is done in this fragrance is so typical, so it's not something wildly innovative either. Okay, the last one is Valour Mystique. This is supposed to be a take on Halfeti, which I am really excited. I don't think I've actually tried out this fragrance at all. And remember, guys, when I did a review of what fragrance was it? It was Empire Regent. I'll add it here. Guys, I did not realize what that DNA, I knew that DNA was something I had smelled before, but I just didn't know. Of course, it was a take on Halfeti Cedar. This definitely runs in the same family, a lot lighter, a lot less cedar wood. In fact, it says there is no cedar wood, but I feel like there is, just a lot less. And I feel like the performance on Halfeti, on Khadlaj Empire Regent, guys, is irreplaceable. I thought that lasted 6 hours tops. I wore it so flippantly until recently. My colleague stops me in the hallway 8 hours since I put it on, and he said I smelled amazing and like oud, and I just kind of giggled and walked past. So yeah, so we have some some saffron, some cardamom, some cypress, and then you have some roses, some jasmine, and in the middle you have musk, woody notes, and amber. Guys, this is a really, really, really beautiful fragrance. I feel like it is a more palatable take on Halfeti. Now, I don't remember smelling that fragrance like yesterday. I just remember how challenging that fragrance is and how Halfeti Cedar is. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a call coming in. But I remember how challenging that fragrance is on its own. So I have to say that immediately for me, I just feel like it's more palatable, it's lighter. You probably would end up wearing this a little bit more year round, whereas Halfeti Cedar you definitely wouldn't, and Empire Regent you wouldn't. Anything like that DNA would be too dark. I definitely feel like this is a little bit more unisex, but I feel like they're all unisex, to be quite frank. I think, to be honest, this is just a little less challenging, but I say a little and less with very much heaviness. In fact, these are not blind buy safe. I definitely feel like if you have to go and try out the Penhaligon's fragrances before you even try any of their DNAs, or try to buy them, because you might intensely regret it. Like, it's just, for me, it's such a strange DNA and such a signature DNA that they have, that it's so hard to like. I feel like you just have to, it's kind of gothic, dark, kind of witchy vibe to it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, that's definitely what I would say. Now, the last fragrance that I have here to try is Lactea Divina. Guys, this has been doing the rounds. I hear that our queen, I don't know where it went. I had a version of it here, but I heard our queen, a fragrance glance, said this was better than her confession. as a take on Blanche Bête. And I don't know if you guys saw my review of her confession. I'll also put it here, guys. It's they popped off. Lattafa popped off. So yeah, I'm really eager to smell this. Oh my gosh, the juice is so juicy. It's kind of pink. I don't know if you can see that, which is so different from the other fragrances, or what I expected, to be honest. So this is a vanilla lactonic fragrance. It's cacao, incense, and tuberose and jasmine, and then you have milk, vanilla, and tonka bean. So I have to put this on my wrist because I can't really smell it in the tube, so it's not really projecting with all this complexity well. This is incense, cacao, tuberose, jasmine, milk, vanilla, tonka bean. Immediately what I'm smelling is tonka bean, milk, cacao, and vanilla. Yeah, really interesting. I am spraying her confession on the side because I'm just curious. I already know my answer. Yeah, I feel like Lactea Divina just does that whole Tuscan thing where it's just like super palatable, easy to like. In fact, it's not even projecting well. I don't know what's happening there. It's supposed to be longer lasting than her confession. Unless I got some kind of messed up version, but... And you know what? I did try to smell it before and I had the same impression. I could barely smell it. I could barely pull it out. And as it settles, it becomes kind of like a milky coca. But guys, there's just no comparison for me. The white florals are almost non-existent in Lactea Divina. The incense is non-existent. Like, I don't know. It's just like a more palatable, easy to wear version of this. And I actually can understand why a fragrant glance has kind of leaned into loving this one more than her confession. And I think it's purely because it's way more creamier. It's lighter, and she has mentioned that she's been enjoying her lighter, uncomplicated fragrances, which is not like her, as we know, but it's something that she's been really enjoying in this phase of life and in her perfumery journey. So I'm not surprised that she liked it, but it's definitely not where I am and not piquing my interest. If I had to pick, I definitely would go with this. It's more floral, there's more personality, whereas this is kind of you wear the fragrance kind of take. There is like the florals are almost subpar, and I really hate that I'm leaning so close to my skin to smell it. Like I'd almost get into my own skin to try to smell this fragrance. Like, I just don't know, guys. It's not doing that for me. In all reason, I'm saying that for me, her confession is better. But I really am interested to find out, have you smelled Lactea Divina? Is there something that's kind of messy about my fragrance, especially if it looks like this, that makes you think that this is not the real thing? But as far as I can see, this is like the classic Tuscan kind of thing where they take away all the complicated notes and make it quite linear, quite palatable, quite sweet. Even the milk is not even like as strong as the milk is in here. I definitely wouldn't call this even a close take on Blanche Bête at all. Definitely not. I'm like, there has to be something wrong with me, because some people are saying that it's so lactonic. It's not. It does smell like sweet condensed milk, but this doesn't smell like sweet condensed milk, and neither does Blanche Bête. I don't know. I think that needs its whole review. Like, yeah. I'm really interested to know if people have Blanche Bête in their fragrance collection and whether they're close to each other. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but guys, if I remember that fragrance, it's so well done and so floral and creamy and lactonic. Like, there's no way you can miss the the milk in it. And here there is just none of that. Interesting. Anyways, this was my take on these fragrances, guys. This was a little bit harder going. I'm really interested to know whether you like any of these fragrances. Did you like Minya? I being an absolute hater with some of these fragrances, or do you feel like the hate is absolutely well deserved. Let me know what you think. Until next time, bye. Thank you again.